Hey, how's everybody doing? Good. I am so happy to see everyone here tonight because, as we all know in New York, sometimes it's just so fucking hard to get out of your house, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you're home after work, you're there on the couch, you're like, I just need to stay here a while. So congratulations to everybody for getting out. But I was feeling like that a couple of months ago. Like I just was having a really stressful time, and I got back to my place and I was like, some peace and quiet. New York is so crazy. I just want to shut the door and, hang out by myself. And then right then my phone rang, and it's a friend of mine, Troy, and he's downtown and he's like, Greg, it's my birthday. Come out and see me. I really want you to come. And I live all the way up in Harlem, and he was having his birthday down on Avenue B, like in 11th Street or something like that. And I was like, oh, God, okay. But this is a guy that I sort of had a little bit of a crush on, So my horniness sort of welled up in me, and I shook off my tiredness, and like I made it down to Avenue B, because, I thought I might get a little action. And that always makes it easier to leave the house, doesn't it? If you think you might get some. And so I made it down to his birthday party, and I walk in. We went to High Chai on Avenue B, and I walk in, and he goes, "Oh my God, Greg, I am so glad that you came. I've really been wanting to talk to you. There's this cute guy over at the bar, and I'm really nervous to go talk to him. So I wanted to talk to you to see what I should do." And I was like, oh, fuck, all right. So inside my head, I'm all irritated about it. But then, like a good friend, I just switch gears, like immediately. Like suddenly I'm like playing the Janine Garofalo part. And I switch gears and I'm like, life is short. Go talk to him. Work up your courage. You might as well, And I send him off to talk to the guy, and they're talking for a little bit, and then he turns around and he gives me the thumbs up. He's like, yeah, it's going well. And so I'm like, great. So I leave his present on the bar, and then I just decide to go. And it's kind of a chilly night, but it's about 12:45 at night by this point. And for some reason, I'm walking by Tompkins Square Park. And I noticed that the gates are open. And I know that Tompkins Square Park used to be kind of crazy and scary, But I looked over, and on this particular night, it was so bright and shiny, and it looked really welcoming. So it did. So I decided to go in, and I walked inside the gates of Tompkins Square Park because I needed to get over to Avenue A. To go to San Loco because I was starving. And so I walk into the park and I go, oh, wow, this actually isn't too bad. They've really cleaned the park up. It's really great. And I'm walking through, and in the middle of it, I sort of pull my jacket up around me and I think, oh, this is amazing. This is exactly what I wanted. I'm in this giant city and I have solitude right here in the middle of the park. There's nobody else here. And it feels really great. And I get to the Avenue A side, and the weirdest thing happens. When I get to the Avenue A side, the gates are closed. And I think, that is really strange. Why would the gates be closed on the Avenue A side? And I don't worry quite yet. And I think, well, I guess I'll have to walk back to the Avenue B side. So I turn around and I start to walk back. Solitude, whatever. It's not that fun this time. And I get back over to the Avenue B side, and the gates that I walked in were closed. And I'm like, okay. That's really weird. So very slowly I walk around the perimeter, the entire perimeter of Tompkins Square Park, and all the gates are closed. And then it dawns on me, oh fuck. It is like 1 a.m. and I am locked in Tompkins Square Park. And the gates are only about this high, and for most people they would just jump over and like no problem, they're out, they're gone. But I couldn't really do that. And so I'm like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? And so I'm standing there by the Avenue B side, and then I reach in my bag, and my cell phone, of course, is dead. It's like ran out of batteries. Nokia, fuck it. And so, so I'm standing there on the Avenue B side, and as people walk by, I say, hey, excuse me, and people were like, no. Not interested. No. And I'm like, wait, you don't understand. No. And they would walk by. They would just walk on by. And so I swear, you guys, I called out to maybe 20 or 30 people standing there in the park. And I'm thinking, God, I'm just totally fucked. I'm going to be locked in here. And then I thought, well, whatever, it's what, I could just like sit on a bench and like hang out until the morning. And then I'm like, that's totally like homeless crazy time. And so I can't do that. And right then, these two guys, they're sort of ambling up the sidewalk, and they're actually close enough to the gate that I can actually sort of reach out and grab them as they walk by, right? So I sort of crouch down, and they amble by, and I reach out and I grab them, and they sort of freak out. And I say, oh, you guys, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. And they were really high, like I could smell it on them. They were so stoned. And I said, I didn't mean to scare you, but I walked into Tompkins Square Park, walked over to Avenue A, the gate was locked, walked over to Avenue B, the gate was locked, and now I'm stuck in the park. You guys have to help me. And one of the stoners started laughing so hard that he actually fell down on the sidewalk. And he's like, dude, that is the fucking funniest thing I've ever heard in my life. How the fuck are you gonna get out of that park? And I said, I don't know, I'm hoping that you can help me. So then they're like, look, check it out. We're gonna like put our hands through the gate. And then you could like step on our hands and we'll just sort of throw you over the top. And I didn't think that was gonna work at all. But that's exactly the kind of idea that you have when you're high and you think it might work. But I'm game, so whatever. I sort of step on their hands, and then they're like, and they lift me maybe a foot in the air, and they're like, God damn, you're heavy. This is not gonna happen. And they're like, tell you what, man, we're going over to a party on Avenue A, and if we see someone, we'll tell them you're locked in the park. But I'm like, they are not gonna see anyone, and they're not gonna tell anyone I'm in the park. But believe it or not, after a while, a cop car rolled up, and I was like, oh, thank God, I'm gonna get out of the park now. And the cop gets out of the car, and he has a key in his hand, and he's trying to be all funny, right? He's being all smart alecky, and he goes, well, looks like somebody got locked in the park. And I'm like, yeah, can you just let me out? And he goes, he's just being cute. He says, before I let you out, how much money you got? Oh, no. And I said, I don't have any money. How do you feel about sexual favors? And then, he got really quiet. And he reached his hand through the gate and he put it on my shoulder. And he says, my wife's 6 months pregnant. I'm about to bust a nut. I feel pretty good about sexual favors. And you guys, I know this is the part where it's supposed to get all porno movie sexy, But it wasn't. I was just flipped out because I realized I was in the corner of Tompkins Square Park with a horny cop who's just admitted to me he hasn't had sex in 6 months. And then I said, you know, officer, I was just kidding. And then he said, well, me too. I mean, I'm married. I just told you. I was just joking around, you know? Which is just like a straight man. You turn them down and they take it all back. But I don't know, I don't think that there are really any straight guys left. I think straight guys are ready to queer out at the drop of a hat. I think that MySpace has slowly but surely made everyone bisexual. But I sort of squeezed by, he unlocked the gate and I sort of squeezed by the police officer, and then I walked up the street, and I thought to myself, well, I did want some time alone, and I was feeling kind of horny, so I guess the moral to the story is, careful what you wish for, you just might get it.